All right, listen. Welcome to another episode of Just Rambling. My name is Rebere Sparks. I'm sitting here today with my brother Jason Garrett. You want to say hey?
What's up, people?
So, little history between Jason and I. Jason and I have been knowing each other since our younger years. You know what I mean? We basically grew up together. Jason is a dedicated father, dedicated husband, dedicated entrepreneur. We go so far back. We actually went to Cleveland Heights together, played ball together. He's also my D9 brother. He is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Yo, to the bros.
I had to get him that drop. So today we are going to be talking about, and I don't know if you want to go ahead and when we do what we do, if you want to tell what we talk about, cool. So without further ado, are you ready?
Yeah, I guess I'm ready. I'm finding out now that I'm the host. I thought I was here to be the guest, but we're gonna make this switch and we're gonna unpack this thing.
Let's do it then.
Yeah.
I know. Appreciate you, brother. Here we go.
I gotta flip my notes around, man. I did prepare.
I know you did. I expect nothing else from you.
I was taught to be prepared.
I know. You do a great job at it.
And I was actually nervous, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned to channel nervous energy. It's been something that I suffer from anxiety.
Okay.
And I used to look at anxiety as like a bad thing. Like,
right.
It was like panic, stress. But I started to figure out with time that when I started to feel nerves or anxiousness, it was my body's way of telling me I care. I'm aware. Right. So to be more alert. And that's why you prepare.
That's what's up.
I heard somebody smart say, I don't know who it was. They said, like when you panic, the reason you panic is because you're not prepared. And if you are prepared, you have less panic. So I'm not really worried about what we're going to talk about.
Right.
I'm more worried about the outcome, like make sure it's good.
It's going to be dope. It's funny because I second you. Coming into this, I would talk to Ev and I'm like, hey, I'm nervous. And I'm nervous, bro. Like, this is the Just Rambling podcast. You the guest host. I'm nervous just like you. So that's good because, to your point, you prepared. And I'm just prepared for whatever it is you got in these questions, brother, we go over this book, bro. And I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, from knowing you and knowing what you do and how you operate your business and your work is superb. Like,
thank you, brother.
People know you in the city. You don't know this. I'll tell you now. We were actually having a conversation before the recording of the podcast, but I was on the phone with a couple people, and they all knew you.
Okay.
Dude, dope. Like, oh, he a Kappa, right?
Yeah,
for sure. He do the photography. Oh, he do this, he do the media. So you very well known in our city, bro, and you handling business, bro. So it's good to know that you do such a great job and you still nervous.
Yeah.
That's a big part of that too, is humility.
Yeah.
Well,
it's important too, the topic we're talking about. I think, it's a very personal topic. And I was talking to my mom about it too before I got here. So I was just like, I don't know why I'm nervous. Like, I talk all the time. Like, it's not it's not the talking part. It's not the interviewing part. It's the subject matter.
Yeah.
And the reason, because like she was telling me, she was like, well, it's a job that we all try and get perfect. And, you have to identify what perfect looks like. And once you start sharing that with other people, it's open for judgment or for thought.
For sure.
And so, it's a touchy personal topic.
No
so
doubt.
I'm interested to dive in. I'm interested to unpack my perspective versus your perspective.
Okay.
I think that, I called some friends too. Like I prepared.
That's dope.
I was like, bro, tell me what you know about Rebere. Like I know him from football.
Yeah.
I know him from like hanging out. I know him from just being connected and moving and grooving. But like I don't know him that well interpersonally. So like, what do you know about him?
No doubt.
And it didn't.
I appreciate that.
It didn't help.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just kept leaning back to how I know you.
No doubt.
And so it's interesting. I think that'll start our conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the things that you talked about in the book was the trap of isolation and feeling like as a dad, it's so heavy on you to feel like you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my thing to do. I can't lean on other people. I'm interested to hear you talk a little bit about that because I definitely feel that way. Like I feel like I was raised to if it's gonna be, it's up to you. Like you know what I mean? Like that was the mindset that was baked in.
Right.
And I teach my kids that. But I felt very conflicted reading it from your perspective because it talked a lot about like it's not all on you and you might be carrying too much pressure or too much burden. So I'm interested, like that's what I left with. I was like, dang, I'm carrying a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a great question, bro. So and it's great to also hear your perspective on that. So, and I think that's cool. That right, like life is about perspective, right, and experience. So in regard to, I would say I second when it comes to like you feeling like you are in what you kind of create, right, or you experience what you create, right. You're responsible for the things that you can control, but then the idea of um, the idea of everything isn't on you. Like we carry this weight of I gotta be perfect or I gotta make it happen, and that can be deemed to be selfish too, right? I can kind of like think back to some times where I made decisions without having a conversation with my children's mother, right? And and for me, I'm thinking like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, but it kind of went against the idea of teamwork and partnership and togetherness and collectivism, right? It was more so individualistic, like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna figure this out because I'm carrying this burden of what I thought a man was supposed to be doing, right? Like as a man, I have to kind of talk about this in one of the previous episodes. Just like I'm going to carry the burden of making it happen, right? Opposed to, I don't necessarily want to use the word, consulting. Hey, what do you think about this? I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think about this? You know what I mean? And then that sometimes could put so much pressure on, like, they won't understand. And, you know what I mean? Speaking about your significant other, like, they don't understand, like, what I'm going through. And that's not their fault to just know what you're going through. It's also our responsibility to communicate what we're going through internally.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So what about if you feel like people don't care?
If you feel like people don't care,
Yeah.
well, that's perspective.
Okay.
Right? That's like, that can be your own thought, right? Because how can you expect somebody to care if you're not communicating to them what's really going on? You know what I mean? So it's like, oh man, they don't care, right? And some things they're not going to understand, right? Especially if we're speaking about like your wife, right, or your significant other, because one, you know, in our experience, in our situation, they're women, right? So some things they're not going to understand, but then you also rob them from the opportunity to understand if you're not telling them what's going on, to give them the opportunity to care. You know, I've had multiple experiences where I'm like, man, they don't even care what I got going on. And I'm gonna tell you something. So I've been in sales. So this is actually, I'm glad we're having this during this conversation. So being in sales, one of the things I learned is that you have to give people enough information so they can make a well-informed decision, right? So like, how can I expect someone to give me what I'm looking for if I'm not informing them? You understand what I'm saying? So like, how am I expecting you to care if I'm not telling you what I want you to care about?
It's good.
You see what I'm saying?
Good.
So does that answer the question?
It do.
All right, cool.
I would say though, like, I think for me, I've always like journeyed in my mindset of like, not necessarily people don't care in a bad way, like, but why should you care? Like, because you have your own stuff to carry, your own cross to bear or to carry.
Yeah.
And so I'm a very undersharer. Like with my spouse, with my friends. Like think about how many personal conversations
for
we've
sure.
had.
Yeah.
Not very many. You know what I mean? And I'm a very not surface level person. Like if you ask me, I will tell you.
Right.
But I'm not like signing up to be openly open with anyone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm very self, like, you know, thought process. And as a man, I was very, like, it was almost convicting for like to share more.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I took from it, is like, you need to share more. But I'm like, as a man, like, I think so often we're told that like no one cares about your emotions, bro. Like, we were raised up, don't cry, don't like, don't feel.
Exactly.
And so like, I feel like I'm very much so like that. Like I don't feel very much. You know what I mean? I do internally, but I don't share that
Express
externally.
it. You don't.
And so that subject matter, I was just really interested for you to unpack.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me. Like it's hard for me to be vulnerable with most people.
For sure. So I appreciate you sharing that. So interesting enough, at about to be 39 years old, I've learned that sometimes oversharing can be backfire, but it's who you're oversharing with.
True.
You understand? So I've learned through trial and error that, hey, you don't overshare with everybody, right? That's where you get the terms circle and tribe and community from, because you will shortly find who you can trust with the things that you're sharing, because everybody can't handle what it is that you got going on, and some people don't have the tools to give you, right? Well, when it comes to someone that you might be building a life with, right, it's important, because this is like, you think about it like this, and you didn't say this, but think about it, if this is your spouse, you in the world, right? You battling the world. You going, you know, as men, like you said, we gonna provide. We already taught not to share emotion. You know, we taught, hey, suck it up, keep it going. Like, go out there, give it your all, compete, right?
Yeah.
If you doing that 24/7, somewhere it's gonna show up.
Yeah.
Right. So think about, like, okay, I'm out there in the world, and then when I come home, I'm the same way I'm the same way I am in the world at home. Where home's supposed to be sanctuary.
Yeah.
Home's supposed to be like calming. Welcoming. It's supposed to be a space of peace and bliss, right? Now, interesting enough, right? That's not always the case. It's marriage, right? Yeah, right? So you gonna go through your ups and downs, your trials, your tribulations, and you learning each other. And then from learning each other, you're like, oh, okay, I've learned that this is what she needs, and, you know, the goal is she learns, okay, this is what he needs. But it got to start somewhere. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
It starts somewhere, like, you got to share. Because if you're not sharing, you're going to share somewhere.
Yeah.
You're going to feel somewhere, right? And I don't particularly want to use this example, right? I don't know why every time I'm on this podcast, I'm using like a biblical version. So you take like Samson, right? Samson, he was a Nazarite. He was strong. He defeated all these men with the jaw of an ass, right? And then he's messing with foreign women, but he goes to his foreign women and he shares his heart, right? And then that's when she got on, and he shared his heart in this particular place. And it's funny because she was foreign, but it made me think, like, why couldn't he do that where he's from? And his homeland, he probably wanted to be vulnerable and open, but obviously he was guarded because he went to a foreign place to speak about, hey, this is what I got going on.
True.
You right?
I actually very similarly love talking to strangers, bro. Sidebar or side quest.
No doubt. Yeah, same.
One of my favorite fake life goals, I want to be a secret international agent, and just broke that I can't do that because I just revealed it here. But the part about it I love is the mysticism, and the fact that I can present something and I sincerely don't care. I sincerely don't care because I know you don't care, because we're absolute strangers. And, I tell a stranger something I would never tell a close friend. It's just weird I'm just weird like that, bro.
It's not weird. It's just like
different.
Your way. Yeah, it's different, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're not the only person that does that.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Yeah, I'm sure the only person that do that. Like, it's cool to think like we don't want to do this, but you're not the only one that does that.
Yeah, true.
So,
all right, let's move on.
No doubt.
The next topic you talked about, I connected with a lot, and I think it's going to take us in a lot of different directions. But you talked about being present over being perfect in the book, and how your children really need you to be present. And so often we are chasing that perfection, but they don't think about that. And so my question is, can we talk about the pursuit of the father a little bit? And what I mean by that is, I think so oftentimes when you become a father, the role is clearly defined as, we talked about it. You provide, you protect, you do these things. This is how you raise kids. This is how you do it. But for me, I became a father very young, 20. And I still had a lot of self-pursuit that has to happen in that journey. And we'll talk about a little bit of selfishness later, but I'm very all over on how I feel about the topic of being present and what that looks like.
Okay.
For context, I travel a lot for work. And so I'm gone many times a week, every month, the entire time. And a lot of people ask us a lot, like my family, a lot of questions about it. And I'm oftentimes they don't understand how present I really am, even though I'm not there. Or what our systems and structures are to decide what presence looks like. But I do think that as a society, or as we talk about it, we get lost in what what those roles and what those things mean. And so my question to you about this topic of being present or perfect is, what about yourself in that? Like, how do you line up you as a person in your role as a father?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if I'm hearing you correctly, like how do I kind of like find that balance of being present and being what the idea of perfect when it comes to a father?
Yes, but like let me rephrase the question. You wear so many hats,
Right.
You're an entrepreneur, you're an author, you're in a fraternity, you work, you have all these different roles as a father that oftentimes pull your presence away.
Got you.
But you also have all these things that you need to do to be present,
Right.
both in the roles that you have, but also in time with them. And so how do you balance? Like, what's the balance like of what presence really is? Like,
That's
is
good
it the provision? Is it the providing? Is it the working? Is it the leading? Or is it the time? Is it the games that you go to? Like, I'm also often very torn. Like, right now, my son's at a baseball game. Does presence look like I should be at his game instead of being here talking about being a dad?
Thank you for being here, brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Let me go ahead. Yep, because I know as a father how probably convicting that might be, or like I'm speaking specific to this baseball game, because you probably feel like, oh man, I'm supposed to be here, but then this is also somebody was asking me, and then part of who you are as an individual and an entrepreneur. Okay, I'm gonna keep my word. I said yes, just for having this game, and then you probably going back and forth, right? I know I experienced that, right? But in regards to what I've learned in regards to being present versus doing what I need to do to provide, I struggled with that for a very long time, being fully transparent. I'm starting to learn it even more now, right? So, like, it was a point in time where I'm like, oh, man, like, especially going through divorce and all that, right? I'm like, oh, I got to spend every single moment with my kids, right? I got to, like, anytime. Then I shortly began to find, like, nah, bro, like, you gotta be working, and you gotta kind of be building. You kind of got to be growing and learning so you can provide more. You understand what I'm saying? Because as a man, it'll make you feel less of when you don't have the financial right means to be there for your kids, to do the things you want to do. So I got to a point to where I'm like, okay, I'm here, but is it quality? You know what I mean? Like, is this quality?
Yeah.
Is this quality time that I'm spending with them? Like, I got all of the quantity I need, and they make me eat, right? But is it quality? So I began to find, like, okay, does it matter that I'm just sitting here on the couch with them watching a Disney movie, and I could be doing a speaking engagement, or I could be on a phone call with someone and my kids want me to walk them in a park to get ice cream, or I could be on the phone with somebody writing an insurance policy, right? So I began to discover, like, I just got to be transparent with my kids.
That's good.
Just got to be transparent. Hey, man, look, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I do this, and I do this so that we could have this.
Yeah, that's
right?
good.
Right. And if I don't do this, then we won't have this. Oddly, you kind of like teaching your kids, like, oh, okay, like, this is the reality of life.
And I think a lot of people don't do that. I love that you broke it down that way, and because that's, people like praise me for that. I'm so real with my kids. You know, like, I told my son about how he struck out 2 times last time, and like, it was a waste of my time. Like, it was like, I told him, he's 8.
No doubt,
you know
no doubt. Like,
but
bro,
it's real, because he gets it, because it's like, yo, he know I ain't bullshitting on the other side.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He understands, like, and they're in it, bro. Like, if he wasn't there, he might be sitting right here, because that's how I think about it. Like, you see me do something, you learn, you operate. That's how I was with my father. Like, I'm more of a, like, doer, active kind of person. The words, it don't mean a lot. Like, and I think parents of today, it's a lot of pump faking, bro. Like,
it is.
I feel like they're so gentle, they're so soft, they're so sensitive, but sometimes it's really that hard truth. And that's what they learn to respect and grow and emulate after. So I love that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to tell you on that note, for a while, I struggled being that, like, assertive and direct with my kids because of the dynamic. The dynamic of, okay, my kid's going to be here half of the time and they with me half of the time. So I teeter with, damn, when they with me, am I hard on them if I see them not doing or being the best version of themselves? Or I'm being, like, gentle with them because, shit, you know what I mean? I don't want them looking at me like I'm, per se, the bad parent.
Yeah.
But I found, no, bro, you got to be honest with your kids, because if you don't, the world gonna be. And I also learned that your kids really want you to be
Oh yeah.
what you speaking of. Your kids want you to be like, hey, bro, like how you strike out like this, dude? I could have been doing something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they learn to even appreciate that time.
Yeah, for sure.
You understand what I'm saying? But I think it's pretty interesting. And like I said, all this comes with growth. Like growth taught me, like, hey man, like I can be gentle with them, but it ain't gonna do them no justice. It's gonna go against them. Like, and then when they get older, their appreciation for me won't be there like I would want it to be.
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
so I had to go from being like, oh man, like, oh okay, like, hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, y'all good. Come on, y'all wanna go do this? Y'all wanna go do that? Right? Because I'm more so projecting, like, what would I want to be going on in this situation? Taking them to the parks, getting ice cream, doing all this stuff. But then I'm neglecting everything else that can get us the stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to a point, hey, bro, this what daddy doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And daddy got to go do this.
Yeah.
I love you. That don't mean I love y'all less.
Yeah.
Right? But I got to go do this so we can have.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. God knew what he was doing. He gave me no girls. I got all boys. And I think it's intentional because I wouldn't have been able to raise girls. But I'm so cutthroat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like my wife complains about it. Like I'm straight up like, hey, bro. Like,
No doubt.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think it leads me right into the next conversation, which is legacy.
Okay.
I think about it thoroughly. Like I come from like grandparents who were married. My dad and mom were married throughout my whole childhood. When I was coming up, I knew I wanted to be married and I wanted to create a legacy. Like I knew I wanted kids. And it's just so interesting to analyze life from that way of always thinking about your children and thinking about the lineage of how they think. I always be like, it's funny. My daddy was a blacksmith, so I'm gonna be a blacksmith.
Yeah,
like you know that's it.
No
but
doubt.
we don't do that as much anymore. We don't do as much of that. Like you hate to say family planning.
No doubt.
That's not what I'm trying to say. But like this legacy mindset, you have so many people who often end up in divorce or like choose situations that aren't aligned to like the lifestyle that they really are hoping to have.
Yeah.
And so for me, especially having kids young and locking in, like I locked in so thoroughly on my wife, on my kids, on my goals. Like it was so crystal to protect the legacy.
That's what's up.
And so, you know, I'm really interested to hear your take on that because, you know, you're trying to protect your legacy. And I'm interested in your take of like how your kids have played the roles in your decision making in your relationships and in your choices. Like, how do you manage that?
It's a good ass question. I'm gonna tell you why I think that's a good ass question. So I think that's a good ass question for this reason. See, your legacy, you've seen generations of marriage, and you got this blueprint. And not only that, it probably created this level of heaviness for you, right? Like, okay, like no matter what happens in this marriage, we're not getting divorced because I've seen it.
We don't even say the word.
We don't even. It's not even allowed in this house.
Yeah,
you understand. And then so for me, it went from and where it differs is my legacy was I'm looking to start a legacy, right? And then you are looking to carry a legacy, right? So then, okay, get married. I got this vision for my family. Then I get divorced, right? So I'm like, we were having this conversation yesterday about controlling what you can control.
Yeah.
So my legacy now, as a dad, now I have 3 children, right? And you know, there's a co-parent, but I'm a single dad, right? So now my legacy went from, hey, we're gonna get married, our kids are gonna have kids, their kids are they're gonna get married. Now my legacy I'm creating personally is being a present father. That's my legacy. Yeah. So I want my kids to know I don't care what the hell going on in your life or what the situation may look like. Yeah. But I want you to always stay in your children's lives, no matter what it looks like.
Yeah, I was almost scared to ask you that question, but I love that take. Like it's about like where you're starting it at. Like this is where it starts, and then your hope is that those legacies continue to bloom. I resonate with that
for sure. And then for me, like marriage, like you got to think about as a kid growing up, right? So if I'm not raised up in a household of 2 married individuals, it's almost like having that thought of I want the house the white picket fence because I didn't have it.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, now I want that and I want to build that, right?
Yeah.
And that was at a very young age. Like I was married at 22, had my first kid at 25 and a half.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So to me, okay, I'm lining up. Okay, cool. I have my kids. Okay, cool. Now I got my kids. Oh, I'm sorry. I got married. Now I got married. Okay, now I have my kids. Then now we move on from there. So then now it's like, okay, what is this legacy I'm going to pursue and create now? It's like, okay, I want my kids to know. I got 2 boys and a girl.
Mm.
So now, hopefully, what I'm doing right now, my boys are like, get married, have kids. I don't care what it looks like, right? They're going to have at least some fight in them, whether that's for their marriage, whether that's for their children. Then my daughter, like, oh, no, like, my dad was, you know what I mean? I know,
solid, yeah.
Yeah, I know my dad, right? So, and I want that to move on further so they understand, hey, it's important that the father is around, right? And he's making an impact in the lives. That's the seed I'm planting for my kids, and my prayer is that seed grows. You understand? It's funny too. Legacy. I had a conversation with someone, and they were talking about legacy. It was in regards to frat, right? And his son pledged the same frat, and now his son is legacy. And his take on legacy was legacy is bigger than what we actually know. So use the example like, oh, my dad was a blacksmith, so I got to be a blacksmith. He said, how is wealth really built? And I'm like, well, you know, we start having conversations about entrepreneurship, making money. He's like, it's really built over time. It's over time, and it's consistency. So he's like, I'm in finance. Why would I want my son to do anything else outside of finance? Is my son going to want to do anything outside of finance? Absolutely. Probably is. But he knows that I know finance works because of the life I presented for him. Not only that, he now has someone he can come to consistently, right? Same connections. And then he's going to get into finance, which he's in finance, and he's going to grow from there. And then over time, this is the legacy because he ain't got to start back over. That's the importance of continuing the legacy is the idea of if we don't, we're going to have to start right back over. So my hopes is that my children, my boys especially, know like, hey, we going to be in our kids' lives because dad stuck around. That makes sense?
Yeah. Cool. You know, something that's actually on top of my mind, connected but kind of unconnected, is like this thought you're giving about like starting legacy. One of the things that I feel very unique about in my journey is I really wanted to redefine what fatherhood looked like. It was important to me. One, because I didn't want to lose myself in the role.
Okay.
And, you know, having kids young is easy to do. Like, it's easy to go to work every single day, come home, bring a check, eat the chicken, be nice, go to bed, do it again. And I've almost been, like, selfishly against that and maybe could do better by, like, a traditional situation following traditional legacies. But I remember, like, growing up thinking, like, dang, like, I'm seeing my dad, but not his full self. Like, I'm seeing him in the role, doing the things, doing a good job, checking the boxes, but, like, it wasn't as authentic. So when we talked about authenticity, that's why I led with authenticity with my kids. Because I was a kid, too. Like, I was a kid raising kids. So like, I'm going to keep it buck with you, bro. Because I'm learning as I'm teaching you with a lot of thought, but I'm now categorizing that thought because this is my legacy I'm building. And so it's just interesting, like, I ain't gonna lie, I was judging the differences between how I've grown to this point and how you've grown to this point and the vast differences. But it's very interesting that we're almost at the same spot because we are still identifying our own legacies with all of the previous legacies, good or bad, questioned or unquestioned, you know, what those are.
No doubt.
But we're establishing something for ourselves and for what's next. And so
right. I got a question, too. I got a question. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
So when you were talking about, like, your dad and his, like, I'm not saying, it's probably not what you were saying, but it's what I was kind of hearing. Like, your dad had this, like, level of, he had this level of, like, he was being, like, he wasn't being authentic because were you saying that he was just falling in line with the image of a dad and the husband's supposed to be? And
the role, he had to do it.
Okay.
Like, he had to work every day. And he didn't have the freedom and fluidity to choose.
Got you.
And I created my lifestyle around the freedom and fluidity to choose.
Good stuff.
Like, it's not about money at all. I can make so much more money.
Yeah.
Being more rigid and controlled.
Yeah.
But I'm purposefully creating a legacy that says you have the freedom to choose who you are.
That's awesome. So kudos to you because this is something that I found out for myself raising my children. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You ever read the book The Way of the Superior Man?
Mm.
Okay, amazing book.
Okay,
So
check
in
it
the
out.
book, this was convicting to me. I was so stuck on I gotta fall in this role, especially with the circumstances. I'm like, okay, I gotta fall in the role of I gotta be dad, I gotta make the money, I gotta be present, I gotta be here. Then I started kind of see pushback from my kids, particularly my boys, right? Looking at me sideways. I had to put myself in their shoes, like, damn, I was them before. Then reading this book, and a section in this book, he talks about like your children. As a man, your children can feel when you aren't pursuing your goals.
When you're not your full potential.
When you're not hitting your full potential. So they can feel it. They like,
Yeah.
dude, not really, right? So then that also, to your previous question, that was convicting for me. Like, nah, bro, I'm about to do my shit. Like, I'm about to do, fuck, I'm about to go do what I need to do, and I don't want to die full. Because for you, you have a thought in your mind. This is not what you said, but my thought is you have a thought in your mind. Like, my dad didn't reach his full potential. My dad probably could be doing more or done more, right? And your kids are not going to have this dynamic right back to legacy. Like, nah, I saw my dad grind. Like, you know what I mean? He went on after everything he had to go after, and he was himself no matter what. I think it's a certain age and time that we start to grasp. Like, I don't care what nobody think. I'm going to do what I want to do, right? And not to the point I'm hurting somebody, but I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm going to come to this earth and do what God called me to do and move in all those ways. And I can honestly say this is kind of like one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this. It's like this is something it's been bothering me for 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You can't let it sit.
I can't not just do it right. So, kudos to you, bro, for going through your stuff.
Yeah, man. Again, perfect segue to the next thing you talked about in the book being, I got to say it slow, Eb said, selfishly selfless.
Okay.
First, explain that theory to us, and then I'll ask my question.
So to be selflessly selfish, it's like what I was saying, making decisions that may seem selfish, right, in the beginning, but it's for the benefit of your children, right, or the benefit of those around you. Like, hey, I gotta do this because if I don't, it's going to it could potentially negatively affect everyone in here. But if I make the selfish decision, right, to be selfless, it's really to benefit everyone. It's almost like sacrificial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll tell you this. So I was in cybersecurity, right? And I was in tech. And at one point in time, I covered Canada, right? And I would have to go train in Montreal. And then I cover Western Canada. I spent a lot of time in Vancouver. So did I feel bad when I was told that, hey, I got promoted to Canada? Did I tell my superiors, no, I can't take this role? Absolutely not. I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is going to be good for everybody involved. You know what I mean? So, hey, daddy going to be gone. I missed the Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? And eventually, initially for me, it's like, I can't miss no holidays. I can't miss no birthdays. I can't miss events. I can't miss no sporting events.
Yeah.
Then I got to the point like, nah, bro, like, I'm about to go to Canada to work. I love y'all. I FaceTime y'all. I call y'all. And I had other roles when I'm traveling. I'm like I'm having to travel to different universities. You know what I'm saying? Then at one point in time, I covered like half of the Western U.S. in my role. And I was having to go West Coast, right? And it's like, no, I'm doing this so that we'd be good.
Yeah, bro. That's it. Like, I feel like that's exactly what we just talked about. But I guess I'll flip my question because I feel like it would be repetitive. But how do we get more people aligned on this? Like, I think the energy typically is what you're saying. It's like, I got to be there for everything. I got to show up. Like, you know how we was raised with the thought that like black fathers wasn't in the home. Like
For sure.
That was the narrative. The data shows otherwise now.
Absolutely.
And so now that the thought process is that the fathers are in the home, how do we be more selfishly selfless? Like how do we adopt that thought? Is it communication? Is it transparency? You know, I like for me those are the things. Like we talked about it, but how do we push that forward? Like and start to break down the old narrative of that daddy's not here.
Yeah.
And moving into like this is what being here looks like.
Yeah. So I would say, in my opinion, like building that family unit off of communication and transparency, right? So it's a conversation. It's a constant conversation. It's a consistent conversation. It's like one of those you tell him. I just came to my mind. I'll never forget this. I had this guy, young white kid when elementary, and I found out later on in life that his dad was like in pharma, right? But I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the house a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm like jumping on their trampoline. They got this really nice house, right? And then I remember I hadn't seen him for years, and I got a phone call like, hey, he's having a birthday party. This was like, I want to say like maybe my freshman year at high school, or maybe my 8th grade year. But they called me like, yeah, he's having a birthday party. We live in Pittsburgh now. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, hey, my dad's going to come get you. We're going to come get you together, and then we're going to drive back to Pittsburgh, and we would have this whole like dope birthday party, right? Like we went to go paintball fight, but I'm in their house, and I'm like, damn, they got a canoe on a ceiling. I'm like, damn, this is dope, right? Yeah. Mom cooking blueberry pancakes, right? And everybody got their own room, gaming room, and like they had a big in-ground pool where you walk down these steps, right? And they had this wooded area. And I'm thinking like, he told me his mom didn't work. I'm like, there was a conversation or understanding that when this is the life that comes with being selfishly selfish. Right? Like dad, mom, kids understood. I'm sure that conversation probably happened. Hey, look, dad works. Dad is in pharma. Dad travels. Yeah. But if I don't do this, we're not going to have this. So it's just doing the things that creates this, not necessarily lavish life, but this life that provides the needs of everyone. And everyone understands what the opposite looks like. This is the contrary look like. I can be around all the time.
I just tell you about this dope experience I recently had, man. I've been traveling around the country with a program called the Marcus Graham Project. Okay. They help minorities get into sports marketing, advertising, media. Dope. And I helped develop a pipeline into the NBA. So we go NBA team to NBA team, and we train a cohort of students about like the inside of the industry, show them all the stuff. And let them work on a project, and it really like quickly propels their career. You know, you get a real world piece of work. So recently, my son expressed to me that he wanted to be a designer. So a thing switched because always for me, I want to be a blacksmith. My daddy a blacksmith. Bronny James, like okay, for sure. I know how to do this. Like I can teach you this. And our relationship has completely switched. Like it went from like almost being like friends to like sensei type energy. That's raw. But one of my proudest moments as a dad was being able to take him in the field with me. And it was untraditional, bro. I called the school. I'm like, hey, he's not going to be in school all week. I have a better learning opportunity. I asked his teachers to rebuild the curriculum around what he was doing. And we went, bro. And it was dope. It was so dope to like see him see me for all the times like that he understood because of communication, but like to be in it. And like, you know, it's funny, we talk to other couples and things like that, and people are like, man, Jason doesn't even call you, like talking to my wife, Jason doesn't even call when he's not home. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, how do y'all have those gaps in communication? Right. And for him to be able to see how or why I don't call, that like what it takes and what's in it, it was like so rewarding.
It makes sense to him.
It made sense.
It's like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
And his hustle changed, bro. It was just such a dope moment.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. It's funny because I was gonna say, like, as you were talking, I'm thinking like, you bring them, like, you bring them to show you, and then even as you travel, bro, like, I'm super transparent. Like, if I was in your shoes and I have wife and kids, like, this is kind of how I think a little bit. Okay, cool. I gotta go to Florida for work. Hey, how do we figure out a way that we take the whole family? Yeah, it happens. And I'm sure it is, right? But I'm just saying that for people listening, like creating that dynamic to where your kids are receiving the perks and the benefits of your role,
and they understand.
And like, oh, okay, oh, this is dope. You know what I mean? And then opposed to you having a conversation, hey, look, man, daddy want to be around y'all more, so because of that, I'm going to stop doing this. Yeah. They might get salty at you at this point, right? Yeah. Especially your boy, he going to be like, hey,
what you mean? Yeah.
This dope, what you do is amazing. Like, why would you stop that? And it brings an understanding and appreciation. Yep. So that's dope, bro.
I have one more to, like, just the advice column is, like, not just what you can expose your kids or family to, but what you expose yourself to. like some of my greatest growth has come in isolation by myself, where I've got that moment away. I've seen a different lifestyle. I've understood something else than what I do every single day, and I bring that back, recharge to my family. Like it's at a point where like even if I'm not traveling for work, I need to travel to like clear my mind.
No doubt.
And like recalibrate. My favorite place, bro, is on the airplane. Like
just you just relax and chill.
You know, it's so risky that it's not risky anymore. And so like that's what I think about it. Like we don't even think about how dangerous it is.
Very.
To like just a little bit ago they was flying with the little wings and like that's not that figured
out.
It's not you know what I mean? Like we have a lot of security.
No doubt.
But in my mind, like it's so figured out and it's so scheduled that like no one can reach me and nothing can bother me. I love to like go through I'm about to cry. I love going through my camera phone, bro.
That's what's up.
And just seeing what I forgot in the last 30 days. Like I'm like,
up.
Holy shit, I was here, I was there, I did this, I was with them. Like, and I'm not a big like I'm gonna share everything type of person. I very rarely share like on social unless it's work related.
For sure.
But like I'm like, dang, like, I didn't. And it's such a like, whoa, like you didn't realize that you were doing all these things and had all these jobs and all these roles and you succeeded until you take a second and like nothing is bothering you. So like that airplane ride for me is such a
it's like therapeutic.
I need it. Yeah. It's like
that's dope, bro.
So like traveling, I know it's tough. The economy's bad, but find ways to explore. It don't have to be far. You could go to somewhere you've never been in the city you live in, but you need time to explore.
I'm actually going to take that advice from you, too. I'm also going to say this, too, brother. Hey, don't be afraid to cry. So they record me crying. Everybody like, man, I saw you crying on the internet, man. I'm like, but actually, I was reading this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, I didn't. This is, you looking at your accomplishment. You looking at, like, wow, like, I'm doing this. Yeah. And it's like a moment that you applauding yourself, bro. Yeah. So, like, that's dope. And it's so funny, man, that you mentioned that because something I've been, how can I say this? So we have a co-parenting situation. Mm-hmm. So I am learning now to take advantage more of that time that I have alone so I can be recharged.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of fathers, mothers don't get it.
For sure, right? Yeah. And it's like, man, like, look at the benefits of your situation. Like, bro, I could take a whole week, bro, and like go to Miami or go to Arizona or go hiking somewhere or just be in the metro parks, just chilling or just recharging. So I'm learning, like, even what you just said, like finding ways to like recharge, So no, I appreciate that, bro.
All right, so recharge and find ways. That's mechanisms to cope, to deal. I want to talk about therapy.
Okay.
I had a very huge conviction moment reading the chapter. Transparently, me and my wife were actually in a very heated argument, and we don't argue often.
Yeah.
And because I was in some isolation, I was like, let me read this chapter. And one of the things it talked about was therapy. and you had a very clear stance that, like, therapy was mandatory.
Yeah.
Given context, I'm a person who's never been to therapy. I actually went to couples therapy once.
Okay.
It was funny.
Okay.
Because, like, we left.
Oh, y'all left during the session?
During the session.
Okay. It must have been crazy.
It was actually what solved it all for us. Like, I dapped up my wife. I was like, that was real. We out.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah.
But it worked.
I guess.
Okay.
But we was arguing with the therapist.
Oh, y'all arguing with the therapist?
Yeah.
Like together?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she started taking my side, and the therapist was like, I'm not sure y'all should be here.
Okay,
and
good.
so we just did.
All right.
Yeah, it was weird.
All right. It's okay.
But I've always been very adverse to therapy.
Okay.
Lots of the reasons you spelled out why most men typically are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of those reasons were true.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested on this therapy mandatory take.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
And from my take, more than getting someone else to tell me more about myself, I push very hard to be self-aware.
Yeah.
And so mine is oftentimes like I'm more like self-analyzing, even if it's doing the work of what a therapist would do, writing it out, figuring it out, pros, cons, like all the things, having guidance, like choosing different perspectives. I'm very much so, I do that a lot for myself.
Okay.
And so I don't really oftentimes like therapy.
Yeah.
Or the thought of therapy. Or the thought of needing therapy.
Okay.
So,
why don't you so do this for me then?
Go for it.
All right. So those last three things you said, mentioned like the thought of even needing therapy, the thought of like going to therapy, like why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like I can't. Like what you were talking about in the book, Oftentimes it feels like, how can you know me more than I know myself?
For sure.
Or how can I open myself up to your judgment when you don't have all the understanding and facts of why I made the decisions, unless I share, which I learned from you earlier. But I'm not a great sharer.
Okay.
And so I oftentimes go into situations very like stone-faced. Like in therapy, for me, feels like that. It feels like I'm not about to tell you all about myself so you can tell me all about myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how it seems weird. Like I'd rather do the work. I'd rather pray about it. I'd rather write it out, think about it, like do the self-thinking instead of telling you. Or I'm not good at doctors either, bro. I don't really like diagnosis.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's like, it's just weird. It's just me.
No doubt.
But it makes me wonder why you feel like it's so mandatory. And it makes me think, what am I missing that maybe I could be connected on if I was more open to therapy?
No doubt. So I'm gonna give you this, man. Interesting enough, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. It's funny because it makes something going on in this room because you said you was about to cry. I was about to cry just now too. So I'm fighting it back. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm hearing you talk about this. This is a side note, and I'm hearing you talk about this, and I think it's impactful. One of my biggest reasons or fears of bringing this book out, I'm like, I wonder if it's going to impact and help people. And it's in this moment, I'm like, damn, this is helping. This is helping people. So the dope thing about that is like, therapy has been good for me because it's allowed me to further self-examine myself, right? So I think it's admirable that you take inventory yourself, you self-examine, but you not privy to everything. And there's some things you may think are okay and you may need somebody to tell you that you don't know, to be like, no, that's the wrong way of doing it, right? This is popping in my head. I'm going to give it. I'm sorry, I'm going to give it. And it's not going away, so I'm going to use it. So, again, another biblical example. So David, you heard about King David? So King David actually went and he took another man's wife. He was messing with Bathsheba, right? He messed with Bathsheba. And then not only did he mess with Bathsheba, but he gets her pregnant and then he has her husband killed, right? So in war, right? So interesting enough, he was in the kingdom and then a prophet came to him and was like, hey, there's a certain man in this land, I'm paraphrasing, a certain man in this land that took up another man's property. What should we do with that man? And then David said, kill that man. And then Nathan was like, well, that man is you. Because he was doing something he had no business doing, but it took another person to tell him, hey, bro, in a roundabout way, you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, right? I'd imagine King David, as smart as he probably was doing a lot of self-examination. Then there are some things that we go through as men or experience as men that we don't even really want to even address. And it takes somebody to be like, hey, look at it this way. Right, it took him to give him a parable almost to be like, there was a certain man, and he's like, let's kill that man. But okay, well, this is what you're doing. And you're like, oh wow, I ain't look at it like that. It's kind of how therapy works. You know what I mean? Therapy works like you could be thinking that you're doing everything right and you got everything going on the right way, and then somebody can tell you in a different way, like you handling that the wrong way, or you're going about this with not all the tools, or you looking at this in your own light, in your own perspective. Does that analogy make sense?
No, perfect.
Okay. And that's kind of what therapy did for me. Because I'm like, I'm looking at it like this. And then I talk about it in our therapy episode that I have multiple therapists. Therapy is like dating. That's what I like. You kind of figure out who aligns with you. Not somebody that's going to tell you the right thing, but in a way of like, I need to change. I need this. Oh, cool. I ain't look at it like that. You know what I mean? Oh, wow, that's a good way to go about it. I didn't think about that. And talk therapy is good because what I've experienced is my therapists have allowed me to just talk. And then they're not telling me what to do, but they're like, okay, why don't you consider this? Like, have you considered? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't even really think about it like that. You know what I mean? And therapy honestly, bro, therapy's led me to this point of writing this book. You know what I mean? Had I not been in therapy, I would have probably been in this very sunken place, this very woe is me, this very just dark place, right? And therapy has helped get me out of that. Was it all therapy? No, it wasn't all therapy, right? It's a relationship with God, therapy, having a good circle, friends, being open, not being afraid to talk about certain things. You know what I mean? Because you never know, bro, like, and this goes back to your original question. You never know. You may have something in you that somebody may be waiting for you to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you like, I got this thing I want to say, but I don't know if they gonna care. I don't know if they gonna think about, right?
Yeah.
Therapy may help you find a way to communicate that or express that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So therapy has been nothing but amazing for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I talk to my therapist. I just call him sometime.
Yeah.
What's good with you? You know what I mean? Like, he like, oh, you know, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy that for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Like, one, I can't just pick up the phone and call my dad and be like, hey, what's up, right?
Yeah.
But I got a man that I know don't have any ulterior motive, or he's just like, oh, what's up, man? This is a young brother trying to grow, and what's going on with you? And we just talking.
Yeah.
You know.
In your book, you warn about over-exhausting. I won't say don't.
Yeah.
Depend on your community, but over-exhausting the limitations of your friends, your community, your circle, when it comes to what they may be capable of guiding you through or helping you out with. I feel like oftentimes, like, my therapy comes in the form of, like, a connection with a person or a friend or a situation that I'm able to, like, like, it's funny, I was nervous. I called my boy Danny. Shout out my boy Danny, my frat brother.
Okay.
Me and Danny have 8-minute conversations. Like, anytime the clock hits over 8 minutes, each of us mutually go, hey, we hit the time. And it's
dope.
like,
That's dope.
It's gone.
That's dope.
And, you know, me and Danny's relationship started, like, very, very, like, much so. Like, we was young kids in college. Like, we partied together. But we both saw something in each other, so we maintained a cool friendship of communication. Not like somebody, he genuinely cared about things that was going on in my life. So when we would talk for those 8 minutes, you could say whatever.
No doubt. That's
he
good.
could say
That's
whatever,
dope.
I could
That's
say
dope.
whatever.
That's
and
dope.
it really never left the 8 minutes. You know, it's actually, like, silly. Like, almost like it's like a way to just say it and hang up. And so, like, when I see his name pop up, I clear 8 minutes.
What's going on. No doubt.
I know it's 8
That's
minutes
dope,
where
bro.
he just got to let it fly.
That's dope.
But Danny's not equipped like a therapist. Like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have, he's got good advice, but it's not always
right.
The advice that maybe.
But he give it to you how he can, out of love. Like, because he your friend and he love you. You love him. Y'all respect each other. Y'all trust each other. To even do that, to have that agreement, hey, we got 8 minutes, bro. We gonna rap.
Yeah.
And then we gone.
Yeah, and I feel like I have so many relationships that I outpour like that. But I am curious on not overexhausting. I want you to talk about a little bit about that. Talk about some of the copes that we go to, the people that we go to, and what how a therapist might be a better suit.
So I think a therapist will be a better suit. And I learned this over time and experience, right? Therapists are going to be a better suit because, one, they're getting paid for it. Right? They specialize in it. They have, the education, right? And not only that, they prepare themselves, kind of like what you just gave the example of, like, Danny called me, I'm clearing 8 minutes because Danny probably need me in these 8 minutes. You got to think how a therapist think. A therapist probably thinking, like, I got a client, and this client, I'm here for the client. Now watch this though. I discovered that for a while this was a buzzword. This buzzword was emotionally intelligent. You know, that went around in social media. Everybody talking about being emotionally intelligent. I think, and I discovered that it's emotionally intelligent to know how much not to pour on your friends.
Yeah.
Right. And I found myself when I was going through things, I'm just, man, hey, man. And then I began to learn, like, this was too much. This is too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're in a place of, like, you feel like need, you just want somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
But then that goes right back to that point of the importance of being by yourself and processing. And then the therapy, right? And your friends love you. They love you. They care about you, care about your well-being. And you know the ones that, like, love you. Like, oh, this dude rock with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? My homegirl, oh, she rock. They rock with you. And to keep those friendships and those relationships is knowing the when, where, why, right? And how. You know what I mean? And kind of feeling where they are. Because it can come off selfish. Yeah. Hey, what's good? And then first thing you say, man, guess what happened? Yeah. And they like, man, eventually they're going to be like human. Hey, bro, like, hey, man, this a lot, bro.
Yeah.
This a lot, right? So I learned to not get upset with those friends that I was pouring too much on.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I appreciate you, I love you, but you human, bro. Like, I get it. I'm gonna give you a break from this. Let's go do something else. Let's talk about something different.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to feel like, or get to the point where you feel like, man, they don't rock with me or they don't care about me. No, they care about you. They're just human, and they have a capacity like you do.
Yeah.
You know.
That's good.
And heaviness when it doesn't matter. It's still heavy.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it's for you, your friend, right? It's heavy.
True.
Where a therapist is paid to handle the heaviness of what it is you're experiencing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I consider. No, I mean,
oh, you still ain't.
I consider.
Yeah, man. I say, man, therapy, man. Just try it. It's like dating.
Yeah.
It's like dating, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna tell you wrong. To each his own.
Yeah.
You know, to each his own. But it's almost one of those things like, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
If you think about it, like, what's the worst that can happen when you talking to a therapist? You know what I mean? Like, what's the absolute worst? Like, okay, I talk to this therapist, I tell him this, or tell her that. I've had male therapists, and female therapists. You know what I mean? I originally got the female therapist because it was through my job. And then I had another female therapist that was kind of like through like a couple therapists that a relationship I had in between my marriage and now. And then I found like it's good to have a female perspective, especially if you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's also good to have that mature point of view or experienced point of view from, you know, a male that has, you know, been through some of the experiences and nuances that you have in your own life.
Yeah, I mean, I resonate with what you're talking about. I think a lot of times like therapy is a great option. You know what I mean? It really is, and I think it's something that reading your book made me feel like it was an opportunity to be better that I wasn't taking. Okay. You know what I mean? I did feel convicted, like maybe I should explore therapy more. Specifically, I was telling you I was going through a issue at the time. Yeah. And that's one of the things that, like, I will say, like, I felt a lot of conviction reading the chapter because even in the title, like, Dadding During Disaster, like, for me, I haven't, like, pointed it in disaster. It was more been internal disaster. Yeah. Like, it's been more, like, hard for me. But not anything I've ever told anybody about. Okay. Like, not anything that I've ever told people I was scared to be a dad when it first happened. Like, most people probably are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Like, not being open to the fact and really communicating that I don't know if I'm doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm trying what I think is right, and, like, I'm really shaking it and grooving with it, I think. Yeah. But, like, it's hard to get that real about it, especially what you're saying, because oftentimes I'm telling people who look at me as someone who's got it together, who's emotionally sound. And so it's like, I saw how maybe the opportunity to pull back the mask a little bit sometimes is okay. I just never had been open to it before. So when you talk about the book helping people, I think if nothing else, it gives another perspective that if you're aware enough to because I know you, I put myself in the shoes a little bit. No doubt. And so I'm like, damn, like there's things that, there's stories that maybe that didn't happen to me, but those same emotions that you felt because of it, I feel those, but it just wasn't that same situation. You know what I mean? And it's something that, like, I always feel like if I went to a therapist to talk about it, it would seem like I was being, like, small. Like, it was like, bro, like, small problem. Big internal problem, but small external. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the little small thing that's bothering me. But you went through all the things you went through. I'm like, damn, I can't. It's not equatable to, like, the same experience. So it's like, it's hard. Like, it's hard for me to contextualize, like, you should go sit down and talk to somebody about that. No doubt. But the book helped me think about it.
Yeah, I would say a lot of what I went through is because I didn't really go through therapy in the beginning. So all the small stuff I had became big stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We're out of time, bro. I had a whole section about community and partnership. We got 5 minutes.
We good. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about, like, for me, such a big part of who I am and how I'm able to move the way I am is because of the partner I have. And I can't imagine not having a partner. Okay. Like, and, like, even things like when you talk about, like, going on the road, I can safely go because I'm not thinking about what's happening to them at home because I know they're fine because my partner is in place.
Got you.
And like we're so in lockstep
Yeah.
in the conversations, in the communications, in the goals and the plans.
Mm-hmm.
We might not always see it the same way, but like we're in lockstep. You know what I mean? And so like I only know it that way.
Okay.
And one of the things I was picking up and learning as I was reading your perspective is very different for you.
Yeah.
So like, how do you manage the role of dad without the partner of mom? Or is it that you have to have a better partnership with them? Like, how does that, like, talk to me about that.
You know what? So that's a great question, brother. I wasn't expecting that question, but I got to just, okay. So I'll answer it this way. So I think that working on some type of partnership, right? And I'm learning to, I've learned to build relationships and maintain good relationships. Now, have I been perfect at the relationship aspect? No, but that's how I learn, right? And so for me, there are, like, say, for instance, I got something to do. Okay, I have to build a relationship with my mother, right? I have family members that are willing, right? Learning to effectively communicate with my co-parent. Hey, look, you know, or my co-parents' family, right? And at one point in time after I was divorced, I was in a relationship, right? And that relationship helped, you know what I mean, when I would need help, right? At a certain point. And so, and I think what I've kind of gathered for someone like me, I do one day wish to be married again and have partnership, right? I got to be a little bit more strategic how I do because I have older children, right? Communicating that, hey, my children do have a mom, right? And, you know, you're not replacing them, right? But you're like a bonus, right? But I've learned to foster relationships, you know, and that's what's helping me now. You know, that may be different next year, right? But for now, I'm like, and I get it, right? You like, man, I could never imagine this being anything outside of what it is now. I was there. And then it's just the man you are, right? The man we are, you just figure it out. Like fatherhood, like you saying, like, am I gonna be good at this? Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job. You're figuring it out, right? The dad you were when you were 20, you're not that dad in your mid-30s, right? Because you had to figure it out. And I think that's what life is about. There's no such thing as being perfect. That's the coldest thing about being imperfect is that you can always have room for growth. But if you think you got it figured out, like me writing this book, I'm not telling you, oh, this book is the end all, the be all. Like, this is it. No, no, because I'm still being perfected. You understand what I'm saying?
That's good.
Yeah, and I told somebody, hey, man, during the time I wrote this book was 10 chapters, took out 2, it was 8, then I added 5. Right? And it's because going through the perfection process. Right? So the answer I have to that is, hey, I'm still figuring that piece out right now, you know, and being okay with me being by myself, being with my kids, navigating with my kids. And you'll be surprised your kids actually appreciate it. And the kids are resilient, right? So they like, man, as long as I'm with the person that loved me or supposed to love me, so with my parent, hey, I'm good. Right? So I would say building sound relationships has helped me.
I mean, bro, you took on some tough ones from me, man.
Oh, it was dope, bro. Hey, look, these were some good ones. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
I feel like we talked about a lot of some things that I was even sometimes like, I don't know if I should ask, but
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I think that those perspectives matter. And I think they shine through in the book, which is why I had so many feelings as I was reading it. And so, you know, I think we can close out with, like, first of all, this is huge. Like, congratulations on taking everything that was here, and making something physical and tangible, taking an idea and making it real. But, like, now you get to walk in how this affects people. And so I'm so glad that you have the bravery to even have this kind of platform to bring people to ask you to pick this apart and to challenge it and to think about it and to read it and absorb it. Because I think the perspective, while it wasn't my perspective, I absorbed so much learning in just the chapter I read. And
that's dope.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive more into it. Yeah, so
that's
congrats, bro. And
appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, so with that being said, normally, like, and just rambling the podcast, right? So as the host, I always give the guest an opportunity
Yeah.
to ramble, right? So I normally lead with, hey, I believe everyone has a voice.
Yeah.
And with that being said, everyone should be heard. But I'm going to change that a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to steal your ramble, and my ramble man to man, because men don't really know how to do this or see this.
Yeah.
I'm going to ramble, and I'm going to give you your flowers.
Hey, don't
as
do
a
it,
man.
bro.
Too late, brother. It's happening.
Don't do it.
So, brother, I want to tell you, man, we've been knowing each other since we were kids, man. So
Yeah.
I've watched you progress to just an amazing man. I think you've always been a solid dude. You could tell, like, how you were raised. You've always been good-hearted, dedicated, focused about your business. You know what I mean? You were a leader in the community. Heard you kind of like talk a little bit about that. Not about you per se, but just being in the community, but you're a leader. Like, people know who you are. It's because you set yourself up for that, you know. In regards to fatherhood, I remember we spoke at the Shades events, man, and you came in, you sat down. I'm like, this brother here about to do this work, and he just left your kid's basketball game.
Yeah.
And you was telling me like, man, I got thrown out the game because I was so, but you didn't notice at the time. I'm like, bro, this is the type of fathers that the world need to see. You just real. Yeah. And you care. And I'm sure everybody that saw that instance like, oh, this dude really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as you being a husband, man, I see you and your wife, man. Y'all like both entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. I see how you support her. I see how she supports you, you know. So shout out to y'all, man. Like, I think in regards to example of what families are supposed to look like, or husband or wife, y'all do an amazing job with that, brother. Sure. You know, as a man, I mean, you're a Kappa man, you know, I'm an Alpha, but it's okay. I ain't gonna do no shade. But even that, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? You always been well put together, smooth, brother, highly intelligent, bro. So I'm thankful for everything you are doing.
Yeah.
Whether you've ever heard me say this before, I'm saying it now, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. I've seen you do work even with, I don't know if you want me to say your work on this, but I've seen you do work with some very large corporation organizations, and that didn't come by happenstance. That came from the work that you put in as a man. So I'm glad I can call you friend and brother, man. I'm proud of you, brother, and thank you for being on my show, man.
Hey, man, thanks for the platform.
No doubt.
Appreciate those words, too, man. I don't think we create enough space to do things like that. And oftentimes it's uncomfortable, so that's why I was like, don't do it. But, no, I received that, and I'm grateful. I think that just to say one more thing, I remember meeting you in football practice.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I remember coming on the field like, all right, well, I want to be good at this, but I've never played before. I played flag football.
Mm-hmm.
My parents wouldn't let me play contact football.
Mm-hmm.
And all of y'all who had played muni football, like, was ready to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really ready to hit. I'll be honest. Like, most people won't tell you the truth.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was like, all right, well, all right, I guess we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I remember you went first.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching. And pass started clanging,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, boy. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, now's the time. And I never forget, you had came over, and you must have seen I was nervous or something,
mm-hmm.
bro. He was like, bro, you're good. Like,
that's what's up.
Like, you might even
you remember that, bro?
Yeah. Like, and then, as soon as the pass clanked, I never turned around, but you never stopped being that leader, man. I remember you used to get injured, you put your body on the line. Like,
yeah, bro, I'm paying for it.
Yeah, you really like led on the field, and so that leadership didn't go away. So I'm not surprised that your position here either. You've always been a great leader, bro.
My dog, man, I appreciate that, brother.
No doubt.
Thanks, man. Love you, brother.
Love you too, bro.
You came on this puppy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.